awesome. Was it from like a friend or something? Okay. That's usually what it is, usually from a friend or family member or something. We don't do any first-party advertising, so you're never going to see us on a billboard, hear us on the radio, or anything like that. This is our advertising. It's all face-to-face, word of mouth. But what the company pays us to do is hire and train people to open up independently owned offices or franchises. So a little bit about who we are. We're the largest independent financial services marketing organization in North America. So there's nobody bigger than us. Most people just don't know that since we don't advertise. We are listed on the New York Stock Exchange. Our ticker symbol is PRI, which we went public in April of 2010, and that year we became the most successful company to go public in America. We're up 100% since we did that, which is very exciting. We've been in business for 36 years, since 1977. We have more than 6 million clients, and we've accomplished all of that without any national advertising. It's very exciting, right? And our mission as a company is to help families earn more income, but also become properly protected, debt-free, and financially independent, which I'm sure you would agree that people need those things today in America more than ever before in the history of our country, right?
Right.
And the reason why we're growing so fast is, unfortunately, there's all these financial challenges in our country today, and people just need help. You know, you look at the debt crisis in our country. They say the average credit card debt amongst household balances on their cards is almost $16,000, which if people pay the minimum payment, it would take them almost 50 years to pay off. You look at income protection. They say 95 million adults have no life insurance coverage. And then SmartMoney.com said, if you get life insurance as a job benefit, that's fine, but it should never be all you have. You can't control, or you can't count on keeping it if you lose your job, become disabled, or can no longer work, right? And then you look at the savings industry. They say 43% of our country has less than $10,000 saved. So you think about that means 1 out of 2 people you see on a daily basis have less than 10 grand saved. So how are they ever going to retire? They never are, right? And the reason why I believe all these things are happening is jobs and careers. They say 50% of graduates are either jobless or underemployed. So you think about all these people graduating college right now, they're either not getting a job or making not near enough money, right? And then 8 in 10 workers report they live paycheck to paycheck just to make ends meet. So that means 80% of our country is one paycheck away from losing everything. So let me ask you, how real and serious would you say all these problems are?
Pretty real and serious.
They're very real and very serious, right? So if you had a business that could solve every single one of these problems for the average middle-class family out there, what would you have your hands on? Be incredible, right? Everybody always tells me it'd be a gold mine. So we have the answers, but let me show you an actual family that we helped. Now, obviously, we changed their names. We'll call them Bob and Susan, but they were 35, 33, and they had 2 kids, okay? So before we sat down with them, the first thing we did is look at saving them some money on their auto and home. So they were paying $152 towards their auto insurance and $91 towards their home. Now, a lot of people are very loyal to their auto insurance company, which makes no sense because they don't give you a better rate because you stay with them forever. And so all we did is partner with the top 25 largest companies in the United States, like Esurance or Geico or Progressive, and just find their niche market company, cut it down to 106 and 72, freeing up $65 a month, which is pretty exciting in some of these auto insurance, right? Next thing we did is look at their debt. Now, they had $47,000 in consumer debt, which is actually very low because a car today is 40 grand, right? But that's 2 cars, credit cards, student loans, medical bills, all that kind of stuff. They had $194,000 on their mortgage. They had 23 years left. They were paying $27.20 towards their debts, and they'll be out of debt at the age of 58. So what we do is we set them up. It's called Debt Watcher's Fast Pay Plan. So we took their same debts, same payment, but now we get them out of debt at the age of 44 versus 58, which means we save them 14 years of payments and $130,000 in interest. Is that incredible or what? And then the next thing we did is look at our life insurance. So now when we sat down with them, Bob and Susan, they each had $150,000 in coverage. They were paying $298 a month, which the way cash pay life insurance works is this. Let's say you they sat down, the agent sits down with Bob and Susan. First of all, if Bob dies, is Susan going to be able to pay off $250 grand in debt with $150 grand? No, but they probably couldn't afford more coverage. So why did they buy it? The agent tells them they're going to get life insurance plus a savings program. Problem is, if Bob dies, Susan only gets one or the other, not both. So if I told you paid for 2 things, in the end you only get one, what do you call that?
Scam.
Like legal robbery, right? So we just teach her to buy a term policy. We put 400 grand on Bob, 400 grand on Susan, 25,000 on the kids. We do it for $101. So now we got them 3 times the coverage for $197 less per month. So now they can take that money and then go invest it elsewhere, right? The last thing we did is look at their retirement. Now they had $20,000 in an IRA at the bank earning 3%. They were saving $100 a month, and at 67 of $116,000. Which, are they ever going to retire on $116,000? No, they're literally going to work till they die, right? So all we do is take their IRA and roll it to mutual funds. Mutual funds have averaged 9% for upwards of 70 years. The problem is most middle-class Americans don't know where to get their hands on a good rate of return because these big investment firms really ignore middle-class America. So we help them find that, increase their savings to 362, which is this 65 that we freed up here, the 197 we freed up here, the 100 they were already saving, and now at the age of 67, they have $1.1 million. So they went from never being able to retire to being able to retire in dignity with the exact same money out of pocket, which is incredible. Would you agree?
Mm-hmm.
So let me ask you, Chelsea, if you sat down with somebody and they were going to have $116,000 in retirement, and you put $1.1 million in their pocket at retirement, how would they feel about you?
Great.
They would, right? And how would you feel about doing that for somebody?
Great.
It would feel incredible, right? So let me show you how we get paid. Okay. So the way we get paid is we teach people to start part-time as a district leader, as part-time contracts. So let's say you started part-time with our company, and you went out and helped the family in these 4 areas. The company would pay you $1,057. It's pretty exciting, right?
Mm-hmm.
It takes about 3 to 4 hours to do. So say you made $1,000 to help that family. How many families would you help in a month?
As many as I could.
You would, right? Let's say you did 1 a week, which is very conservative. That's 4 a month. That's $4,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start making $4,000 a month consistently on a part-time basis, you'd probably make a career change, right?
Yep.
You make a career change, become a vice president. This is where you become a broker or an owner of an office. Now that you own the office, you get 100% of the contract. So now you would make almost $2,000 to help that same one family. So same one family a week, it's 4 a month. 4 times 2,000, $8,000 a month, which is a great income. But the problem is you're still self-employed.
Mm-hmm.
So Chelsea, I came here because I wanted freedom, and I believe time is something we can never buy back, but we can buy forward, right? Mm-hmm. So let me teach how we teach people to do that. The way it works, let's say you're a vice president, you're an owner of an office, and you hire and train me, and I become a district leader, and I get good, and I go out and help this family. Would you deserve to be paid for training me?
Yes.
You would, right? So I go out, I help this family, I make $1,000. I'm so jacked up, right? So who's the first person I call? You for training me, right? I call you up, I say, Chelsea, I'm so excited. Just help this family save money on their auto and home, got them out of debt 14 years sooner, put $1 million extra in their retirement, properly protect their family. I'm so excited. I made $1,000. I'm not going to sleep for a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I hang up the phone, and the company pays you the difference for $850 for training me, but you didn't even have to be there. So if you made $851 every time you train a guy like me and I help the family, how many of me are you going to train?
As many as I can.
As many as you could. Let's say over the next 12 to 18 months you hired and trained 10 people like me. You could do that no problem, right?
Yep.
And those 10 people just help one family a month, not one a week like we were talking, one a month. What's 10 times 850? It's $8,500 a month. That's $100,000 a year, and how many families did you have to help personally? None. So now you have a business, and most importantly, you have freedom. So let me show you how realistic this is, right? So the guy who hired me in the business, his name was Brandon Neal. And Brandon Neal started in the business in 2001. He was 22 years old. He was making $40,000 a year at his job at Discover Card. Hated his job, so he started working 2 nights a week in our business. And 2 nights a week, he made $20,000 his first year. Which isn't a ton of money, but it was $1,600 a month in addition to his job on average. So at the end of that year, his thought was, man, if I could work 3 or 4 nights a week and make $40,000 a year, now the boss, I'd be set. So he quit his job, went full-time. He didn't make 40, he made $104,000. And he had a ton of freedom. So when I met him, I said, Brandon, look, you teach me how to make $50,000 a year with your freedom. I'm in. So I started working with him in 2006. I worked 1 night a week. I made $15,000, which again is not a ton of money, but it was an extra $1,200 a month in addition to my job, right? For 1 night a week where the work was pretty dang good.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of that year, I believed I could do it, and so I quit my job. I went full-time. I made $114,000 my first year full-time. Changed my life. I mean, you can see what happened to my income. I started making $14,000, $24,000, $19,000 a month. I was 22 years old, So do you have any questions on any of that?
Mm-mm.
No, so I have some questions for you. After seeing all this, what would interest you more? A part-time business you could own one day, a complementary financial game plan, or both?
Both.
Both? Okay, great. Let me show you some keys for success and how to get started with our company, okay? So the first thing is you show up to all training meetings, which sounds like a lot, but it's really only 1 night a week. It's Thursday from 7 to 10:30 p.m. Is that something you can do, or at least rearrange your schedule in the future to be able to do? Just 1 night a week?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great. The second thing is go on 15 training appointments so I can teach you how to do this. So I'm not just going to send you out there and say, I hope you figure it out. I'm going to take you out there and teach you how to do it. So I'm guessing that's something you can do no problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then the third thing is, Chelsea, obviously we're in the financial business, so you have to get a license with the state of Nevada. Now it costs $650 to get a license through the state, but I'm going to pay for that, okay? The only thing I can't pay for is your background check, so we make sure we're not hiring people with felonies, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to pay $99 for a background check and fingerprints through the state of Nevada. The way it works is once you help 2 clients in training, the company's going to send you $100 back, so there's no financial risk to you, okay?
Mhm.
So if we're going to pay $650 to get you licensed, can you invest 99?
Yep.
Okay, great. The last thing is complete a financial needs analysis for you and your family's future, so you know exactly what we're going to be doing with families as we get out there, all that kind of stuff, okay?
Okay.
So let me ask you this, how many days a week can you work part-time right now?
Probably about 3.
3? Okay, great. What 3 days were you thinking?
Maybe Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
Okay, perfect. So those days work perfect. Here's what's going to happen then. I'm going to get your application started. I'm going to ask you some background questions. We'll get your background check started today, okay?
Okay.
Great. Do me a favor and grab your driver's license.